What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about ICO scam red flags, namely how you can develop your own feeling, your own sense and intuition when it comes to deciding whether an ICO is legit or whether an ICO is a scam. Unfortunately, we see many scams in our space. We see many scams when it comes to ICOs, when it comes to blockchain projects in general. And this is for several reasons. One reason is because we have many new investors joining the field. Many new investors who aren't aware about blockchain, about cryptocurrencies. They don't really understand how it works. They are only learning, but they are interested. And so they try to invest in an ICO. And of course, if you are knowledgeable and you are investing, if you have experience and you are investing, it is harder to trick you. But if you're just new, if you're just starting out, you might become a victim and you are vulnerable to scams just because you lack all the knowledge that you need in order to be more prepared. And it is natural. Everyone has been a new person in a field at one point in time, but it is important to educate yourself. And this is why I'm making this video, because I feel that I want to share my views and some metrics with you that I use whenever I evaluate ICOs, whenever I look at blockchain projects, and share also some things that really turn me off if I see them in an ICO or a new blockchain venture. And that being said, guys, let's get into it and talk about ICO scam red flags. One of the biggest red flags for me is when a team is anonymous. And you should always try to find out exactly who is behind the certain project you are interested in, and always try to find out the company behind the project, and always try to find out the address of the company. Because if they are transparent, why shouldn't they share their address? Are they afraid to share the address? Why? Also, the names. I want to know exactly who is the CEO, who is the CTO, and so on and so forth. There is no reason to not share the names. Also, sometimes I try to reach out to the team, try to get on Skype or on Telegram and try to talk directly to the founders. Because it is one thing to read about the project on their website, to read on the whole marketing effort they're making and to get the information from there. And it's a whole other thing to talk to the founders, directly about the same things that are said in the marketing websites, on the white paper, and so on and so forth. But you get a whole different perspective when you hear it from the founders, and you can develop your own gut feeling when it comes to meeting people in person and seeing them in the eyes. If, for example, if you do a Skype call, so try to get on Skype, try to meet them, try to talk to them, find out their address, find out their company name. And if you have trouble doing these things, then it is a red flag, because they should be transparent. They're raising millions and millions of dollars. There is no reason why they shouldn't share this information. So anonymous team is a big turnoff. Try to find out as much as you can. The second red flag I want to share with you is all about the white paper. Namely, if you read the white paper and it is extremely vague, you do not see exactly how this is going to be implemented. You do not see any in-depth explanations. You do not see any details about the project, and so on and so forth. Something we have to realize is that the scammers in many cases are not engineers. They do not care about blockchain. They do not care about decentralization. They do not care about the technical implementation, and so on and so forth. They only want a white paper that looks legit, that looks like it is a good project, but it really isn't. And if you're not careful and you read the white paper, it might sound good to you. But be critical and look for details, demand details, and try to find out exactly how they're going to implement it. And if you cannot see it in the white paper, try to reach out and make sure that the founders themselves know what they're doing. Is it only an idea, or can they actually implement it? Because a blockchain project without any implementation and only an idea is worthless. Ideas are really worthless. It's all about the implementation. So if the white paper is vague, you have a hard time contacting the founders and getting details on the white paper, it is a red flag and you should be careful. The next red flag has to do with community. Namely, if you see no community, you go to Bitcoin Talk forum, you go to Telegram, you go to Slack, and you see very little activity, it is worrying. Why is it worrying? Well, because if a project has a huge community, and many people are asking questions, many people are wondering things, many people are engaging with the founders, it means that the project has some kind of responsibility. I mean, if you have so many people in your community and they're all curious and they all know a bit about you, they all know your address of your company, they all know exactly where you live, they all know your name, it might be harder to scam. It might be harder to scam because now you have thousands and thousands of people who know so much about you. So if the founders are anonymous and there is no community, this is a huge red flag. Even if the founders are not anonymous, but there is no community, it is also a red flag, because I personally want to see that many people are in this. Many people are engaged in this. Many people know who the founders are. Many people know what the ICO is about and what is the company behind the ICO, and so on and so forth. So I hope you see where I'm going with this. If there is a lot of community, if there is a lot of people who are interested in this project, there is a higher chance that more people will take some kind of legal action or pursue the scammers if this ICO turns out to be a scam. So a large community, of course, makes me personally feel more safe. The third red flag has to do with GitHub activity. Namely, when you try to find out exactly how the project is moving forward when it comes to coding, when it comes to actual implementation of the idea, you go to GitHub and you see no activity at all. It is a red flag, because the scammers would most probably not spend a lot of energy on actually coding, because they know that people will most likely not check GitHub. Most people do not check GitHub, and it is extremely important to do so that you are aware and you are not fooled by just a nice white paper. Always check GitHub. Now, in many cases, you have ICOs that haven't even started to code, and this is of course making this whole investment more risky. And you ideally want ICOs who have some kind of GitHub activity, who can show you that, look, we're pushing each and every single day. We have this coder here, he's good at this and this and this. We have the second coder here, he's good at this and this and this. And they're all working all the time. So check GitHub activity. And on this channel, we check GitHub. I teach you how to check GitHub. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Finally, I want to bring to your attention a phenomenon we will see more and more in the ICO space. Namely, that scammers are creating fake ICO websites. The reason why I think this will accelerate in 2018 and why I think this will be a trend for scammers this year is because we will see more and more established businesses doing ICOs. For example, you see Telegram doing an ICO, and you already see fake ICO websites claiming to be the Telegram ICO, taking people's money. And if we see more and more established companies doing ICOs, we will only see more and more of such websites, because the scammers know that they can use these big names in order to attract people. And most people will be extremely uncareful. They will not check everything when it comes to the website. They will not check the SSL certificate, and this is what I want to really advise you to do. When you're investing in an ICO, click on the little lock button on the top next to the domain name, because if you check the SSL certificate, you know who is behind the website. You know that the website is coming from the company that you are investing in. And if you're just on a website and they do not have this little SSL certificate lock, and when you click on the lock, you see some random business name that is not the company you want to invest in, you should be extremely careful, guys. So I hope you learned something. I hope you now have a better feeling for what is a good project, what is a bad project, and I hope you are more aware, guys. It's all about awareness, it's all about knowledge, it's all about being as careful as possible. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Smash the like button, smash the bell button so that you're always up to date. And if you are a new viewer, you should definitely subscribe to this channel, because you will find this channel useful. I myself am a software developer, and I'll see you guys next time.